This video is sponsored by Noble Gold. Many thought that the previous news cycle involving Ezra Miller, the one where he was implied to have done something that rhymes with broom 12-year-old girls, was as bad as it was going to get. We here at Midnight's Edge, however, said that no, this is probably just the tip of the iceberg, so expect to hear more. And here we are. Because now, we have a story that involves an estranged couple, their 3 young children, and wedged in between them, Ezra Miller. In this editorial, I'll go through these most recent news, highlight some of the implied parts of it, and finally, see what this might mean for the future of the Flash movie. But first, with inflation now at 8.5% and maybe higher, don't you think you need to be smarter with your money? You need it to grow, not shrink. You need financial freedom, not debt. Start a gold IRA with Noble Gold now, and you'll be safe. And this month, for every cash deal above 20k, you'll get an incredible 3-ounce silver American Virtue coin, completely free as a thank you. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold. Call 877-646-5347 now to find out more, or visit noblegoldinvestments.com or see our link in the description. With that, let's get into the breaking news. This comes to us by way of Rolling Stone magazine, who have previously written about how emergency meetings were held inside of Warner over what to do with Ezra. In a June 23rd exclusive, they wrote, Ezra Miller has been hosting a 25-year-old mother and her 3 young children at his Vermont farm, a living arrangement that worries the children's father, as well as 2 others with knowledge of the situation, Rolling Stone has learned. These 2 sources with knowledge of the situation expressed concern to Rolling Stone that it is an unsafe environment for children, alleging there are unattended guns strewn around the home on Miller's 96-acre property. One source, who, like the other, requested anonymity for fear of retribution, recalled an instance where one of the children, a 1-year-old, allegedly picked up a loose bullet and put it in her mouth. You would think that the mother, who is there with the kids, would have reacted pretty strongly to this, but you'd be wrong. The mother claims that Miller had helped her escape from a violent and abusive ex, and Miller helped me finally have a safe environment for my 3 very young children. Ezra's home ranch has been a healing haven for us, she tells Rolling Stone. He may have firearms for self-defense purposes, and they are stored in a part of the house that the children never go in. My kids are able to relax more in their healing because of the safety and nurturing Ezra has been providing for them. The mother and children, aged 1 to 5, have been living at Miller's Stamford, Vermont farm since mid-April. The actor met the woman in Hilo, Hawaii, which Miller had been visiting in March. So, according to the mother, she and the kids are doing great after Ezra gave them a place of refuge to escape her horrible, horrible ex. Wonder if he, the father, has something to say about this. Rolling Stone magazine actually did reach out to the children's father. In the midst of that unfolding crisis, the children's father claims to Rolling Stone that Miller secured a flight out of Hawaii for the woman and her children, allegedly without the father's knowledge. There is a name for that. Kidnapping. Needless to say, it is illegal. The father claims he has not been able to see or speak with his children since their departure. There are a couple of names for that, the mildest of which is visitation interference. It is also illegal. I got a bad feeling in my stomach, the father says. I do want to get to my kids. They mean the world to me. An argument can of course be made that if the father was as bad as the mother alleges, she might have done the only right thing by escaping as far away as she possibly could. Rolling Stone magazine says that the parents have been at odds for some time and speaks of an earlier domestic case which was dismissed because neither party showed up in court. And that certainly doesn't reflect well on either of them. But then there is the matter of Rolling Stone's 2 sources who fear retribution for speaking out. And if that is not a red flag, I don't know what is. And according to them, it is a chaotic environment that is unsafe for children. Video footage from April reviewed by Rolling Stone appears to show at least 8 assault weapons, rifles, and handguns lying around the living room, with some weapons propped up next to a pile of stuffed animals. The two sources also alleged that there has been frequent and heavy marijuana use in front of the children, with little concern about proper ventilation. Rolling Stone has also learned that there is a sizable cannabis farm on Miller's property. This does not reflect well on the mother, as all of this is happening in her presence. On the contrary, one could be forgiven for thinking that it's starting to look just a teeny-weeny little bit like malicious parent syndrome, in which one parent goes all out Amber Heard and fabricates accusations, denies visitation, and even manipulates the children against the other parent. We on the outside, of course, don't know any details or the reality other than that it obviously is a tragedy for all involved. But whatever the nature of the parents' problem, it was originally between the two of them, and it didn't involve Ezra. But it came to involve him the moment he inserted himself into the situation. What is so troubling here isn't just this one case, it is how it fits in with all the others. Over the past few months, Ezra made himself the scourge of Hawaii, as the police were called on him 10 times, and he was arrested twice. More recently, he has been accused of both drugging and emotionally and psychologically manipulating a now 18-year-old girl since she was 12. And the parents of another girl who is still 12 secured a restraining order against him as recently as June 6th. And now we have a 25-year-old woman who swears everything is fine, while her 1-year-old daughter has access to bullets, and witnesses fear retribution from Ezra if they speak out. At this point, this is starting to look like it might go beyond rhymes with brooming and slowly start to enter cult territory. And I still think there will be more and worse revelations to come.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
As for The Flash, I will refer you back to the breakdown in our previous video, because this doesn't really change anything, other than that the movie in its current form, with Ezra Miller, is becoming more and more unreleasable. David Zaslav will very soon have to decide what to do about the movie, and at this stage, simply dumping it to HBO Max and replacing Ezra from the next movie onwards might not be enough. The more stories like this come to light, the more likely it becomes that they may have to reshoot the entire movie. And who knows what more skeletons are still in the closet, waiting to be uncovered. Let me know what you think in the comments, and before you go, call 877-646-5347 now to secure your pension, or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. See our link in the description.